Start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Zino Primo.
And I'm Dino Primo, and this is the Primo Bro Show!
With episode 4 of Rustled Jimmies, featuring episodes Brobot and The Big Pinch.
And today, we are starting with The Big Pinch, which in German is called...
Besuch von Thomas Edison.
Nice.
Thank you, Germans. Well, not all Germans, but most Germans.
Yeah, Germans can be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, they rank a little higher than French for me, but I mean, the French music is way more fun to listen to. Oh, baguette, oui, oui.
Anyway, let's get to the episode. So,
yeah, okay, so both of us think The Big Pinch kind of sucks.
It's kind of like, it's not the best episode.
It's a little benign.
Yeah, we're going to start with that episode, get through our thoughts, and then we're going to go on to Brobot, which we both enjoy a bit more.
Yeah, so. It's got a lot more interesting moments.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
but
so
anyway, the premise of the episode. The episode is Cindy says some things completely unsourced about electricity and radios and stuff. So Jimmy is like, well, I'll just bring back Thomas Edison to prove her wrong, even though he just could have just hired an impersonator to do the same thing. But no one checks anyone's sources, so this whole episode is moot. Anyway, the struggle of the episode is that Thomas Edison falls in love with Miss Fowl, Jimmy's teacher, and won't leave.
Yeah,
and electricity everywhere is just disappearing now.
Yeah, because if Thomas Edison wasn't there, electricity wouldn't be around, which doesn't really make sense because I'm positive other people would have figured it out, which they did. So anyway,
oh, absolutely. You got Tesla, you got all these wonderful people. As far as I'm concerned, Thomas Edison in real life was more of a marketer than
he was actually. And honestly, I think it was funny how you're just like, oh, I said, oh yeah, other people would have figured it out. You're like, yeah, Tesla and other people. We also didn't check our sources, so.
Frank, we got owned by that episode. Damn it.
Okay, let's just jump right into it. One of my favorite jokes is the very beginning when Thomas Edison comes. He sees the light bulb and he's like, "That's copyright infringement," and I'm like,
which is pretty accurate. He would be pretty upset about.
No, it's true. And literally, I'm just gonna go through some of my points really fast. Sure. Thomas Edison, every time he's like, "Oh, Jimmy, this is a pretty cool invention," and Jimmy starts to explain it. He's like, "Hey, it's not that impressive.
Actually, it sucks. It sucks and it's stupid, and you're gay."
I think he says that because he can't find a way to market it and sell it.
Yeah, because he's just like, tell me about it in a way that a 10-year-old would be like, "Oh, that rules! I gotta buy it." And Jimmy, being an 11-year-old, but the most intelligent 11-year-old on the planet, is just like, "Oh, well, you see, it uses the CPU and the RAM, and I use a custom microchip." And he's just like, shut up.
Dude, stop. The WAN.
Don't care. Didn't ask. Plus, you're lame.
Shut up. Now, what do you have to say about
it? Carl understands my love for maraschino cherries.
I hate maraschino cherries.
Not a fan.
No, not a fan. Every time I get them, every time I get a milkshake and they come in it, I just throw them on the floor.
Do you not like the stem or the flavor?
No.
Or...
I use the stem to tie it because I just like practicing tying stems. I don't like the flavor. I think it's gross.
I see. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's something about it being candy that makes me happy. But I'm glad that I have solidarity with Carl over his love for them, because the moment he hears someone talk about maraschino cherries, he's just like, "Oh, my man."
Yeah, he just leans back in his chair and just, oh. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to bring up really quick. So Thomas Edison comes into Jimmy's school and just straight up just goes straight for Miss Fowl. And, Jimmy's upset because he wants to send Thomas Edison back. My theory is, what if Jimmy's just jealous that Thomas Edison is able to go on a date and hang out with Miss Fowl?
What, is Jimmy in love with Miss Fowl?
I think all the students are in some way.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it. The only notable notes that I wrote down was that when there's a running thing in episodes of Jimmy where if Jimmy like can't think of an answer on his own, he'll ask Goddard to like come up with a bunch of options.
I have a note on this too, but go on.
And I know this is the same note you have. I love that Jimmy just considers ditching the world as a which means he's prepared for a worldwide EMP event. He knows that that's possible, and he's prepared for it.
It's
Otherwise,
so funny.
He wouldn't even consider it.
Oh man, yeah, no, I like telling Jimmy to change his name and flee the country, which Jimmy actually considers is like, oh, it's a possibility.
Like, possibly.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
like,
not
that's
even
a good plan B, but not a plan A. We'll think of something else.
I don't think Jimmy. Oh, okay. I think Jimmy's prepared for an EMP blast, but I don't think he's even prepared for that. I think he was just ready to leave. Like he's just like, yeah, screw this.
He does some space travel.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, I'll freaking live on the Yokian planet. Those guys suck. I can annihilate these fools easily and restructure their society. That'll take no effort at all.
Yeah. No. I think that's so hilarious.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that episode. It was wasn't my thing. Thomas Edison is a jerk pretty much the entire episode, and Jimmy should have just hired an impersonator because at least he can fire him later.
Yeah, that's true. I have literally I want to praise this episode for showing everyone how much of a real dick that Thomas Edison was.
You know, this may have been the first seed of hatred ever sown for Thomas Edison in my entire life.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what? It was worth it for that.
It was.
In hindsight, you know, you got me. Good job. Good job.
Yeah. No, last thing about this episode. I think I like the idea because in the end, Miss Fowl, like, she's like, nah, I don't want to get married. Go do your thing. I like the idea that Miss Fowl is actually like, all these men are coming after her, but she just rejects them all the time because like she just doesn't want to be tied down.
Well, I know that in a future episode, she literally screams, "I'm afraid of commitment." Like, you know what? She's consistent. That's because she's afraid of commitment. She transforms that into being a free spirit, and honestly,
exactly.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that, Miss Fowl.
And when she was talking about being a free spirit, birds were flying in the back, and she was like moving her arms like wings.
Pretty good.
I think Miss Fowl is a character, just like her design, the way she talks. It's like, obviously it's a bird, but it's just funny. It's just so funny. It is really funny. I think it's great.
But none of that matters because the previous half episode, the Flying Brother, is pretty good.
Bruda.
Not the best episode, but it blows Big Pinch out of the water.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, if we only had to watch one of these episodes for the rest of our life, obviously we'd pick Brobot.
Oh, 100%. Although, honestly, maybe I'd get more annoyed by Brobot if I watched it over and over because, man, Brobot is very annoying.
It's true. It's true. Okay, well, let's just, like we do, I want to go through, like, the episode. You know, I like, can you give us the rundown of the episode, please, Zino?
Oh, sure. Jimmy, noticing that, you know, his friends are always busy. Carl's busy. Sheen's busy. Freaking everyone's busy, and he's just like, oh, you know what? You know what sounds cool? Having a little brother. Because if I had a little brother, they would worship me, and it would rule. So he creates a brother with robot parts, and gets so annoyed with him, he considers murdering him. And that's the episode.
I think that's a pretty good summary of the episode.
And I guess I should. It's not even spoilers. What am I gonna spoil? Jimmy. The conclusion of the episode is Jimmy makes robot parents and then sends all three of them to the moon.
Yeah.
To love each other and hang out away from him because he hates Brobot with every fiber of his soul.
Oh man, I just think that's so funny. Like, gosh. Well, okay. I want to start with the very beginning of the episode, the llama channel. When good llamas go bad.
That's the first note I wrote. Of course, there's a llama channel.
No, we've seen the llama channel. We've seen it before.
Wait, really?
Yeah, we have, or at least they've talked about it before.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, a couple episodes ago, they were like,
when,
sorry, Jim, there's a special llama channel. Really important. This contributes more to my theory that Carl is in poverty because he can't afford, HBO or Nickelodeon. No, he gets the Llama Channel. That is not a worldwide channel, I guarantee you.
Well, I mean, it's Carl. I'm pretty sure he wants to watch the Llama Channel.
Oh, you mean it's pay-per-view? Oh, then maybe he's bourgeois,
I just love how it's when good llamas go bad, and it's just the episode starts with a guy getting his hand bit off or something.
See, this is completely inaccurate to real llamas, though, because a real llama would just freaking spit on him.
Yeah. No, but this is when good llamas go bad. This is not regular llamas, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shouldn't call it when good llamas go evil, because that's that thing had it out for him.
When good llamas eat people. And then
yeah,
you
go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'll go.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what? Huh?
Go!
So later on, when Jimmy's like going around moping from all of his friends and people saying they can't hang out with him, or he just doesn't want to hang out with them, he's walking in the park and a little kid and his older brother, they're playing sports, and the little brother catches the ball and he's like, thanks, you taught me that. Maybe I'll be as good as you someday. And the little brother's like, yeah, nah, you suck, man.
It's true. Butch is just like, yeah, no. And the kid laughs it off, and he's just like, yeah, that rocks.
You're my big brother.
I do want to mention that when Jimmy asks Carl, hey, you want to try out my nuclear pogo stick? Jimmy, where did you get plutonium? How did you can't use that.
They probably made it or something.
You really should not be having anything nuclear, Jimmy. Like, the government already knows of you. You're obviously like a target to them.
I think the government fears him.
I guess that's true.
I mean, if you think about what he can do, pretty sure they're afraid of him.
That's a good point. Also, when he asks Sheen, hey, you want to hang out? Sheen's playing on like a Game Boy Advance, essentially. And you can tell it's a Game Boy Advance because it has like the little barcode on the back that all Game Boy Advances had. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, he's busy. Let him game.
Yeah.
Jimmy, if you want his attention so badly, just freaking make your own game.
Which he does eventually, I think, actually.
That's true. He does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then honestly, I can't fault Jimmy. He figures it out eventually.
Jimmy's a smart kid. Okay, there's a running joke or gag, whatever. When the neutrons are eating food, it's just the weirdest stuff. Like,
I swear the animators are just like, all right, what stupid thing can we try to make them eat now?
And they're just like orange sticks. Like, it's not carrots. It's not just a pile of carrots. Nobody eats that many carrots.
I imagine the mom was just like going grocery shopping and it's just like, oh, baby carrots. Oh, a 10-pound bag? Why not? It's on sale.
Yeah.
And so she's just like, well, I don't know what to pair with this, so here's all of them. Just a whole plate of them.
No wonder Hugh always just never finishes his meal and just go eats pie.
Because he knows there's more nutrients in it than the carrots can provide. Also, I love that. So before Jimmy makes Brobot, he's just like, yeah, you know what? I want a brother. And Hugh is just like, Jimmy, you can't do that.
Baby making is a very complicated.
I wrote I don't think I ever needed to hear Hugh say the words baby making. This is a boundary that's been crossed. I don't want to go back. Does anyone else want pie? I want pie.
It's not only an excuse, but it's two excuses in one. One for him to go get pie, and one to get out of the conversation. It works perfect. And then 5 minutes, like literally a minute later, Jimmy's making a boy. Jimmy is baby making, but in the mechanical way.
I wrote, wait, so Jimmy knows what sex is and does nerd stuff all day. Nerd shoves him. I don't know why I wrote shoves him. Nerd. But I imagined, how would I even because he can't see me. I'm just,
Well,
I literally wrote this 10 minutes ago, and I'm just like, what was I thinking?
Well, you're being a bully, so nerd.
Yeah, I feel like Jimmy's very bullyable, though. You know?
Oh, he is. No, and I think like the government, most children fear him. But that's probably why they bully him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that Hugh definitely wanted another son because of it's so clear how much he loves Brobot. He's just like, oh my gosh, I relate to you because you are. Oh, I love you, my baby boy, my precious son.
Well, Jimmy uses a salt shaker as the nose, and that's really funny. But you're right. Hugh says, "Oh come on, he looks more like me than Jimmy does."
He does.
He's a little robot kid. That's man, so funny.
So a little later, Jimmy shows the nuclear pogo stick to Brobot, and Brobot's like, "Wow, check this out!" And he literally goes over the moon and then re-enters the atmosphere and lands. I love to imagine that Jimmy in his hubris created the nuclear pogo stick, and on re-entry it just nukes the whole town. On that second bounce back in the atmosphere, boom, city gone.
Retroville,
Jimmy,
gone.
You should have just made Carl do it, because even though that's unsafe, he didn't re-enter the atmosphere on a pogo stick with nuclear fission in the pogo.
Well, okay, one of the funniest things that I think, one of the funny things about this show, and probably most animation, is the jokes for adults. You know, stuff that kids just don't get. One of my favorite jokes, it has to deal with this. When Jimmy's like, "Oh, I'll get my parents to make a kid. It'll be great." And Jimmy's like, "And he can test all the stuff that's too dangerous for Carl." And it's just like, Jimmy, yeah, you really don't value human life. You really don't.
So I think the best scene of this whole episode is all of his friends ditch Jimmy to just hang out with Brobot, right? And there's a couple of really good lines where Carl is like, "Well, Brobot can stay, right?" And he's like, "No, it's fine." And oh no, I effed it up. He's like, Jimmy's like, "Oh, it's okay, guys. I'll just go home." And Carl's just like, "Okay, bye. But Brobot can stay, right?"
Yeah. And Sheen is like, he's like Jimmy, but if he was actually cool and good at stuff. I'm like, oh, jeez, guys, you guys are mean. Like,
I love how staunchly Brobot defends Jimmy, because they're all like, "Yeah, we'll just hang out with Brobot," and Brobot's like, "But it wouldn't be any fun without Jimmy, right, guys?" And Sheen's like, "Of course it would. What are you, stupid?"
Yeah. Gosh.
Thank you, Sheen. How quickly Jimmy's friends abandon him the moment he makes something that can replace him.
Yeah, the moment something better comes around, Jimmy's old news. Like, oh man, no wonder Jimmy is like an attention-seeking kid. Like, why he always creates all this stuff is because like nobody likes him.
Everyone's true colors come out at the moment he makes.
Literally,
it's been better.
Yeah, and it's been less than a day, and everybody forgot him. Even his dad was like, "Oh, who's that in the picture?" And Brobot's like, "Oh, it's Jimmy." He's like, "Oh yeah, that one."
No, you got to set up the scene, because that's the best scene of the whole episode.
Please regale us with the tale.
So, upon all of his friends, including Cindy and Libby, going off to hang out with Brobot and ditching him, Jimmy comes home, and he's climbing up the stairs, and he's like, "Oh, this sucks, man." And Brobot and Hugh are just hanging out on the couch, and Brobot's just like, show me some family pictures. Or sorry, no, Hugh's like, "Let me show you some family pictures, my boy." And you see, there's this wonderful parking lot, and it's the biggest underground parking lot in the world, but can't see because we're on top of it. And there's me and your mom, and
it's underground.
Who's that one kid? And Brobot's just like, Jimmy's like, "Oh yes, how could we forget that one?"
Yeah. No, I love I love how he says that one. It's just like, like, Hugh? Like, why? Like, how did you forget your son?
He can only... This is why Hugh, in his heart of hearts, even though he wants another son, knows that he could not do it. Because he only has the brain capacity for 2 people in his life. And that's his wife and his son. He can't fathom anything more.
Hey, ducks and pie as well.
But those aren't people. Those are lifestyle choices. I was going to say hobbies, but then I was like...
They're not hobbies. They're lifestyle choices.
Yeah, it's his way of life.
Exactly.
More so than
exactly.
Also,
exactly.
lovely little what's the word? Touch. Judy Neutron comes over and she's just like, I brought snacks. I got butter for your dad and lug nuts for my son. It's like,
and there's Jimmy up there, and then they just don't invite him down. They just keep going.
Yeah, she didn't even prepare a snack for him. I just love that an acceptable snack for Hugh Neutron is just butter.
No, it's not just butter. It's like a buttery like cracker or something. Like she says,
no, they're butter pads.
Is that what she said?
When you go to like
wait,
what's that freaking restaurant called? Old Country Buffet, right? You get the bun and they come with those little squares with butter.
I thought she said something else, but she said butter pads.
Butter pats.
Is that what they're called?
Of butter? Yeah, they're called butter pats.
Oh my gosh! So he really is just eating butter.
Yeah, it really was just butter.
Butter for your father. Like, okay, we're slowly realizing that Hugh Neutron is the best character of this whole show.
I mean, it's wonderful because he's such a... It's great because he's such a standout character in a show full of standout characters. Oh yeah, no, like I'm not saying any of the characters are bad. I truly enjoy and love this show. I love the characters. It would not be the same show, obviously, without Jimmy, his antics, and Carl and Sheen and Cindy and Libby and all the parents, all the other kids and everything. But like I think one of the best, most fleshed out characters in the whole show is Jimmy's dad. Oh, absolutely. And I feel like every time you learn something new about him, it both shocks you and doesn't surprise you at all.
Oh man, yeah. No, the episode, and we'll talk about it in the future. But when you find out he could have been really rich, anyway. But I just like this whole episode. This is a joke that you showed me. This whole episode just gave off a. Do you have any games on your phone? Type of energy, because like that's what Brobot is. He literally, like, when they wake up, he's like, oh, what's this? Do you have any games? Let's play a game.
It's just he's like ultra manic 5-year-old energy. That's all this kid is.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was like, yeah, this is fine. I'll just build a robot that does this.
Mm-hmm.
At least Jimmy now knows that being an only child rocks.
But also that people are much more complicated than just I want thing. Let's play thing. I love how
I guess the consequences of my own actions have led me to this.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's funny how all the things Jimmy tries to get his brother away, then he finally decides the final answer is to kill him. And and then that is...
He doesn't try to kill him immediately though.
It's true.
It's a slow build up. First Brobot like interrupts him in the bath and he's like, hey Jimmy, you're naked in the tub with your dick out.
Where's my dick, Jimmy? Why didn't you make me with a dick, Jimmy?
Why have you cursed me with this life?
My life is meaningless. I can't make any other robot children, Jimmy.
But also Jimmy's just like, okay, well, if I gotta get rid of this guy. And so Brobot's like, let's play a game. And Jimmy's like, yeah, we'll call it a game. It's called One Way. Here's how you play. He just gives him a one-way bus ticket and ditches him. And it doesn't work. So Jimmy's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to kill you.
I'm just gonna have to take this sentient artificial intelligent being that I created myself 2 days ago, and I'm gonna have to shut him off, essentially killing him. And Jimmy tries to do it, but he's about to not be able to do it, but then he cries. And for our new segment, a Brain Blast fun fact, Brain Blast! This is the only episode where Jimmy ever cries.
What the hell? Really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, he did care about Brobot then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think very much because he literally sent him away to the moon after this. But yeah, he cared.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, so that's a new segment.
In a way, Jimmy is far more of a father to Brobot than a brother, because he literally made him. So I can only imagine this is the same reaction Hugh would have if having to sacrifice his son like on the altar of God.
Do you choose pie?
But father,
or do you choose?
I love you.
Do you choose pie or Jimmy?
Sorry, Jimmy. God has asked for a mincemeat pie, and you're the main ingredient.
Oh man.
And yeah, so Jimmy just makes new parents for him and sends him to the moon to forever just hang out there. But I would like to point out a couple of just little things that I noticed. And this is totally the technical aspect of the show, or really,
yeah, of course,
more the artistic aspect.
Yeah,
there's just a couple of really little touches that the artists didn't really have to do, but they really make the world just feel maybe 1% more believable. I really like that.
I know what you mean. Carrots on a dinner plate, just tons of carrots on a dinner plate, totally makes the world building way better.
Shut up. No, I'm talking about so Brobot's design, he's just he's a robot with humanoid. He's got a head, he's got a torso, he's got arms, but instead of legs he's got little roller skate feet, right? And him and both of his Brobot's parents that Jimmy builds also have little roller skate wheels. They're not clean. They're really scuffed up, they were actually used on a rollerblade before, and they didn't have to do that. If I were modeling that and I was it's just they're roller skate wheels. You make a translucent object and you make it circular and you're done. But they scuffed it up and it looks nice. And even something as simple as the heat, the wall heater behind Jimmy when he's in the tub, it has that thing where the center of all the rungs are way dustier than any other part of it.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't have to do that, but they did. And it's
dang.
This episode gets the Somebody Cared award.
No, actually, one thing I did notice, when Jimmy is giving him the now that you talk about it, I wasn't going to bring it up, but you brought it up. When Jimmy gives him, he's testing out the wheels, he spins it, and it's it's off-center just slightly. Just ever so slightly.
I didn't even notice that.
And if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't notice, but we're obviously paying a lot of attention. And you talking about how they're just, this would be Jimmy, obviously, I want to know where he gets all the stuff, but he probably had an old pair of skates that he's not going to use that he put on Brobot,
It's just it's not that they did it, it's that they didn't have to do it, but they did.
Yeah.
And I know that this is literally that stupid tweet about dream stands where they're bro, have you noticed that he when he has feelings, he expresses them with his face? I don't want to come off as that,
Have you noticed that in Jimmy Neutron, the characters that have legs, they walk. They use those legs to walk.
Amazing. I don't want to be that guy. It's just a really small detail that I'm yeah, I like that. I like that they took the time to do that.
Yeah.
It probably didn't take almost any time, but
oh no. But
it's just thinking about it,
But some things, this is an early 2000s show. Some things don't hold up, but other things do hold up because it's a very different art style. And they made it classic enough looking, and just
by stylizing the show heavy enough.
Yeah.
Even though it's fairly low poly, it probably didn't take too long to animate an episode, considering other than glitches and software bugs and server bugs and whatnot, it's a very timeless looking show.
like we mentioned before, it's called Retroville, so it makes sense that they would try to go for that type of aesthetic.
Yeah, and it was a good choice on their behalf. And I know, like, I don't even know if it was called Retroville back in '99 with the pilot, but like, yeah, it was a good choice to start with. Yeah.
No, I agree. And for all the crap that we give, like, the orange sticks or the purple cranberries, for the food, like, I just think they probably had a good time making details like that because they're like, nobody's gonna care, nobody's gonna talk about this, but it's probably it was probably inside jokes between them,
Yeah, and even then, it's not like the carrots are lazy. They're just, I mean, they could have just been untextured.
Yeah,
but
no, I just think it's funny, and I don't even like. They may be carrots. I don't think they are. I just think it's some strange thing, and I guess that they have in Texas because that's where the show is set. Like,
but it must be like a northern part of Texas because there's so much green in this show.
It's true. Well, also another, like, if we're talking about details, we're almost done here. But if we're talking about details, the one detail that I noticed that they put in is at the dinner table, Jimmy is sitting on top of phone books.
Yes,
to be able to reach the table.
Yellow page.
Yeah. I just think it's stuff like that I appreciate because, like, not like you said earlier, they didn't have to put it in there, but I think it's a fun thing. I think it's a funny thing.
And honestly, so you've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right?
I have not actually.
Oh,
I know about it.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that it's like a mixture of like real life and cartoons.
Yeah, I knew that.
And I know this is completely different because this whole show is a cartoon. There's no real life people in Jimmy Neutron at all. But it kind of makes me think of what the animators had to do when, was it Bob Hoskins, I think, is the main character in that movie. The detective in that movie misses his eye line when talking to Roger in a particular scene. He looks a little too high. So when the animators drew Roger, they had him stand on his tippy toes just for a couple of like seconds, so that he's looking in Roger's eyes as this is happening. And it sells it a lot better. And I can only imagine that, like, they didn't want to model a new chair, but modeling a phone book takes 5 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's really funny, and it just makes sense with Jimmy is short. That's just kind of one of his things that he hates about himself is that he's short. But
and that he's too prideful to like get a booster seat.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's 11 years old. Getting a booster seat at that age that would be embarrassing.
And he could build himself a better chair, but he's not really a carpenter. And obviously, it's his mom's house, so like
he doesn't want to
change the decor too hard.
His mom already doesn't like his inventions most of the time. So, anyway,
that's about all I had to say about this episode. It was a fun one. I liked it a lot. Hugh was especially like great in this episode.
Yeah, I think we'll be saying that pretty frequently.
Yeah, good point.
But no, I thought they were good episodes. Nothing spectacular, but fun stuff. Like I'm glad that they put these two episodes together because they're like kind of mediocre episodes. So now that we're like past these mediocre episodes, we'll get to like more. But it's still the first season, So like they're still getting their footing. They're still getting the jokes, the world together. Like, so yeah.
And the next, I think at least one of the next two episodes in the duel episode is a bit of a banger. It's Granny Baby and Time is Money.
Oh, that's the episode that I was talking about with Hugh, I think.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Because Jimmy time travels again. Oh man, and I think Granny Baby is really funny. Granny Baby is really funny.
I remember enjoying that one a lot as a kid.
Yeah. Oh, I love the way she talks. Anyway, this was the Primo Bros show. Do you have anything else to say before we head off?
Hello, I'm Paul.
Come on. Dave Jonas Johnson is watching right now. How do we end the show?
Dave Jonas Johnson. Haven't you read the news?
What?
No, he was in the obituaries today.
He's watching from heaven.
Yeah, he died laughing. at us.
How do we end the show, Zino?
How do we end the show?
Yeah.
If the voice actor of Hugh Neutron hears this, please, we would do anything to have you on the show. That's all I have to say.
I can't believe I have to say this almost every single time. What is the thing we say to end the show, Zino?
Hi, I'm Paul.